today I am back with 10 more horror movies I guarantee you've never seen. What's up, ghouls and gals? Welcome back. Today we are on part 30 of my series of weird, underrated, underrecommended, strange, spooky, ooky, disturbing, psychosexual, you know the drill. All those movies that I like to recommend that I don't think anybody is talking about. Now, by the end of this video, there will be 300 movies I have recommended. And I have triple dog dared you more than 3 times now to watch all 300 movies. And we are doing so because this is the list that I use for my podcast every week. Every week I pick some weird movie off of this list to talk about. So check out the Letterboxd list, the link down below. Watch all the movies at your leisure. Let's add 10 more that I promise, I promise that you've never heard of today. I tried to pick some pretty deep cuts, so if you enjoy, please go ahead and give this a thumbs up, subscribe for more, check out all of my links down below if you would like to see any more of me or support the channel any further. And speaking of podcasts, this week we are on episode 33. It's been really fun to deep dive into these movies one by one, so let's get into 10 more of these strange, weird, underrecommended, underrated movies, horror movies, mostly horror movies that I don't think you've ever seen or you've ever heard of. Starting off at number 10 with Home Sweet Home, Where Evil Lives from 2023. Expecting Mother Maria uncovers chilling truths about her reclusive mother-in-law's home. A sinister family secret lurks in the basement as Maria fights an unseen entity through a nightmarish ordeal. Now, this film is shot as one continuous take. It's to build real-time tension. Now, I couldn't find if this was broken up into more, like 2 or 3 unbroken shots, all kind of doctored together, but it is presented as a one-shot take. Up next at number 9, we have The Other Side of the Door from 2016. After her young son is killed in a tragic accident, a woman learns of a ritual which will bring him back to say goodbye. But when she disobeys a sacred warning, she upsets the balance between life and death. And this is directed by Johannes Roberts, who also directed The Strangers Pray at Night, the 47 Meters Down films, and recently Primate. So I feel like we are in good hands with this movie. Moving into number 8, we have Monster Island from 2024. In the Pacific, 1944, a Japanese soldier and British prisoner of war are stranded on a deserted island, hunted by a deadly creature. 2 mortal enemies must come together to survive the unknown. This is a solid action horror. I feel like this would make a great double feature with Primitive War. It's just a great late night creature feature. It may not be the best film, but it is one of those films that will satisfy those bad late night watch movies. It's not bad, but let's move into something a little more allegedly disturbing. Dream Home from 2010. A woman will go to whatever lengths necessary to obtain her dream home with a view of the sea. And this includes driving down the property value and decreasing occupancy rate by killing potential neighbors. Now, I'm saying allegedly disturbing because I haven't seen this one, but allegedly, I will say that again, several members of the audience during a screening in Japan passed out. I guess it was a crazy viewing, but one reviewer called this film a malicious, sadistic slasher. So if that's up your alley, definitely put this one on your radar. Okay, number 6, Worry Dolls from 2016. In the aftermath of the hunt for a serial killer, an ancient curse consumes a city, causing a series of brutal murders and pitting a detective against the clock to save his daughter's life. This movie can also be found as The Devil's Dolls. I really couldn't find this movie when I was searching for it under the alternate title, so I found it under Worry Dolls. Now at number 5, this may be one of the lowest rated films I've ever recommended, and it comes from one of my favorite directors. This is Beneath. From 2013, from Larry Fessenden. 6 high school seniors celebrating with a day's excursion find themselves on a rowboat attacked by a man-eating fish and must decide who will be sacrificed as they fight their way back to shore. Now, this may be low rated, but we have to give props where props are due. The giant fish was practical and fully built in Los Angeles, and all natural light was used for the movie. So there's my 2 positives. Now at number 4, you guys know I have to recommend a film from the 80s in every episode of this. So I'm recommending Deadly Eyes from 1982. Corn grain contaminated with steroids produces large rats the size of small dogs who begin feeding on the residents of Toronto. And you guys know I'm Canadian, so I love a Canucksploitation. But the large rats in question in this film are literally dogs dressed up as rats, and every dog had to be individually fitted for a rat costume. So I think that's a selling point, and I think that it makes for a great, unintentionally funny watch. At number 3, we have Minotaur from 2006. When the villagers offer their brethren as a sacrifice to the Minotaur, Theo sets off on a harrowing quest through the labyrinth to kill the evil bull god. Now, firstly, this stars Tom Hardy, and this is his first leading role. But this also features Tony Todd and Rutger Hauer, and it's actually an adaptation of the ancient Greek story of Theseus and the Minotaur. Now at number 2, we have Hotel Poseidon from 2021, a day in the life of reluctant hotel owner Dave, a man troubled by nightmares, his neighbor, his friends, and his love. And the best way to describe this movie is just existential purgatory, so do with that what you will. And at number 1, I am recommending one of the weirdest titles since the last episode when I talked about The Thingy. Ketchup on Waffles from 2024. 3 masked attackers terrorize a college town diner late one Friday, with their white masked leader orchestrating increasingly brutal murders of customers for fun over several hours. Now this one is on Tubi, so you can watch it, but it is 80 minutes of people being humiliated and killed, so I mean, if that's something you're into, then put that one on your radar. And that was 10 more horror films that I hope that you've never heard of. So let me know in the comments if there is one that you have seen, that you have heard of, that you want to watch, that maybe you're gonna stay away from. And check out the Letterboxd list link down below for all 300 movies now. So I will talk to you guys in the next podcast episode. Sayonara, Spooky Fam.